Yeah, but here, this is a simple one. We know it even here at home. Here at home, I think if you get 4 yellow cards, you sit out the next game. In CAF competitions, if you get 3 yellow cards, you sit out the next game. So Tebogo Mokoena was booked against Benin, our first game. That was match day 1. And then he was also booked for match day 4 in Bloemfontein last year.
Against Zimbabwe, yeah.
Against Zimbabwe. And also, what the rules say is that the cautions or bookings that were made in the FIFA competitions, they don't overlap to other competitions.
So
meaning,
2 yellow cards,
yes.
As this is the rule that we're looking at here.
Yeah.
2 yellow cards means you miss a match.
Yeah, exactly. The match that follows after the second yellow card.
So he got a second yellow and still played the match against Lesotho.
Yes, so remember he was booked against Benin and then Zimbabwe. We played them last year. So the game against Lesotho was the next World Cup qualifier, which...
But what if I say to you, there were games in between? There was an AFCON in between. There was all these games in between. Does that not count?
No, it doesn't count because those were AFCON qualifiers. And now, also... and
that's what 63.2 says there.
Exactly,
yeah.
Exactly. It means it says that it doesn't overlap to the next competition. You restrict it to only the FIFA competition.
So what then happens if you fielded an ineligible player, which was what Tebogo Mokoena would have been against Lesotho?
Yeah, so now there are 2 things that will happen. As you see there with 19.1 in the FIFA rules, that if a player fielded in a match or competition declared ineligible, that means now the FIFA judicial bodies that have got all these records, without a protest or anything, they can take it further because it becomes automatic when you see it. But also, that doesn't mean when they act on that, we are going to get points deducted from us. Because for us to get points deducted, you go to 19.2. That is where the team that feels that they are aggrieved in this case, they must lodge a protest.
They've lodged it now, have Lesotho.
But according to 19.2, in fact, and not even on 19.2, according to the FIFA rules, the protest must be lodged 2 hours after the game with the match commissioner. Failing that, it must be lodged within the 24-hour limit with FIFA. So if it doesn't happen, and I think that goes to 8.3 there on the protest, that there is that window of the 2-hour window with the match commissioner.
They're still within the 24 hours of the end of the match and should be dealt with by the FIFA disciplinary committee. Otherwise, they will be disregarded. That's also the 24 hours. So they didn't do it within the 24 hours.
They didn't do it. But I see that the Secretary General of the Lesotho Football Association, Mr. Mokhosi, is disputing that, saying that they've, in fact, since sent their query to FIFA. And also Nigeria. Remember, this story blew up in Nigeria. You can
the Nigerians picked it up.
Yeah, picked it up. So they were also the first one, the National Nigerian Football Federation.
Whose duty is it in a team setup like Bafana to have noticed, should have noted, or would you know, Tebogo Mokoena has got 2 yellow cards? Who failed at their job?
The person who signs off a team sheet.
Team manager.
Is the team manager.
Vincent is the team manager.
Yeah, Vincent is the team manager, and also even the information that comes either from FIFA or CAF comes to him. The difference with CAF is that with CAF, you do everything electronic, and he wouldn't have been able to put the name of Tebogo Mokoena because the name of the suspended person gets blackened out. So with FIFA, it's different.
So as we stand now, it's a blunder. It's a blunder that could cost South Africa a qualification. It's a blunder from a SAFA point of view that could cost South Africa 3 points. And if that does happen, this is what the log would look like. Because according to what Uvile is saying in the rules, Lesotho don't get those 3 points, but they do get deducted from South Africa. We would then, after 6 matches and not 5 there, because it doesn't matter what happens, but at the moment with the 5, would be on 7 points, just behind Benin, equal with Rwanda, and only 1 point away from Nigeria. A dangerous place to be.